Good afternoon, Teacher Glay here, and today I'm gonna discuss to you what is a variable and what are its types. So let's begin with the definition of a variable. First things first, ang lagi naman nating dinidiscuss sa klase, ang variable is like an ingredient. Kapag nagluluto ka, you cannot create or you cannot cook rather a meal without an ingredient or without the ingredients. Therefore, the same thing with research. You cannot create or you cannot come up with a result or a conclusion if without a variable or without the variables. Okay, so ano nga ba ang variables? Technically, these are the data. These are the data that you need in order for you to come up with a conclusion or a result. So, ito yung kakailanganin mong i-gather para makapag-conduct ka talaga or matapos mo yung kinakonduct mo na research. So, this can be a property or the characteristics of some event, object, or person, and technically, of course, it has a value or an amount. It differs because sometimes nakadepende kay researcher kung ano yung variable na pipiliin niya o yung i-involve niya in his or her study. And ang isa pang dapat yung maalala dito or ang importante is that it is a measurable characteristic or it should be measurable. Okay, kailangan measurable ang inyong variable because we are dealing with quantitative research sa R2 natin or yung practical research number 2 natin. So, yun lang naman yung importanteng tandaan nyo. Una, it is somehow the ingredient or ito yung integral part of your research. Hindi ka makakapag-conclude or makakapaggawa ng result or conclusion without the presence of the variable or variables. And then it has an amount or it has a value. And lastly, it should be measurable. So, yun yung variable mo. And your variable somehow affects, of course, your study. Let me give you an example. Okay, so I have here a situation. So, let's say, yung eating breakfast. Eating breakfast. So, ang estudyante, kapag kumakain niya ng breakfast and kapag healthy yung kinakain niyang breakfast, most probably, the score that he or she will be getting in math, let's say, ay A plus or halos perfect or perfect score na. But kapag yung estudyante na kumakain nga ng breakfast pero hindi naman healthy foods, most probably hindi niya ganon maximize yung brain niya or yung mind niya no during maybe nung quiz nila. Kaya most probably he or she will be getting a B plus or yung pasado pero hindi mataas yung score. And sino naman yung mga student na makakakuha ng failing grade? Most likely, ito yung mga students na hindi kumakain ng breakfast or ng kahit ano bago pumasok ng school. So, etong dalawang to, it really affects. So, these are somehow factors that affects the result or that can affect the result of your research. Lalo na if you are trying to figure out the academic performance of your respondents or the students. So, itong dalawang to, we can consider this as our variables. Kasi nga, ito yung data na kailangan mo para makapag-come up ka sa result. Sila ay merong values and even sila ay measurable. And one more thing, ito ay nagkaroon ng epekto. Okay? So, sila yung mga factors affecting yung inyong topic or yung inyong research. Yun ang variable. And with the variables, we have 4 types. We have 4 types of variables. Isa-isahin natin sila. So, the first one is independent, followed by dependent, then the discrete and continuous variable. So, usahin natin muna i-differentiate si independent at dependent variable kasi medyo confusing siya. So, let's define an independent variable. Pag sinabi nating independent variable, ang tangi mo lang tatandaan dyan is it is the probable cause of an event. Dahil nga pag independent, 'di ba? Kapag independent ka, kaya mo ng ikaw lang. Kaya mong mag-isa ka lang. So, sasabihin mo nga, sige, tabi ka na dyan, girl. Ako nang bahala dito. So, kaya mong mag-isa. And if that's the case, you are the one causing something. Okay, so that's independent variable. Kaya we call it an input variable at the same time. And since ito yung nagkakos ng isang event or relationship doon sa research mo, sa Tagalog, ang pwede mong keyword dito, pag independent variable, ito yung nakaka-apekto. Again, independent variable, nakaka-apekto. Yun lang, tandaan mo, okay ka na. Ma-identify mo na si independent variable. Siya yung nagkakos, siya yung nakaka-apekto. And usually, si researcher, it is controlled by the researcher. Si researcher ang pumipili ng independent variable, and that means hindi na siya basta-basta mababago all throughout the research process. Okay, pag pinili, yun na yun. Loyal yarn. Okay, so that's it. Independent variable, nakaka-apekto. Alright, so the next one is the dependent variable. Of course, this is the exact opposite of the independent variable. So, dependent. Pag sinabing dependent, diba, ito ay naka-lean on. Ito ay nag-a-adjust doon sa independent variable. May pinagdedependehan siya. And in this case, nakadepende siya sa independent variable. So, if the independent variable is the cause or the input variable, therefore, the outcome is the dependent variable. Okay, so ang keyword naman natin dito ay ito yung naaapektuhan sa research mo. Again, independent variable, nakakaapekto. Pag dependent variable, siya yung naaapektuhan. Nino? Ni independent variable. So most probably, ito ay hindi na siya, or mabilis siya rather na mabago. Okay, so it can easily change unlike the independent variable. Kasi kapag binago mo si independent variable, most likely, lahat na ng research mo or yung lahat ng trinabaho mo sa research, magbabago or it can be affected. Okay, that's it. Independent variable, siya yung nakakaapekto. Dependent variable, siya yung naaapektuhan. Okay, that's your keyword there. Okay, let's proceed with the third type of variable. Okay. Sige, let's try pala muna. Let's try to answer and magpo-pause ako saglit in order for you to figure out what's the dependent and what's the independent variable. Okay. Hindi pala siya nandito na pala agad yung sagot. Okay, anyway. So, in this study, sige, para maintindihan mo na lang din siya. In this study, to determine the effect of work experience, gender, and age on work performance. So, dito, kung i-analyze mo yung topic mo or yung title itself, ang hinahanap mo, ano ba yung epekto ng work experience, gender, and age sa work performance. So, anong yung epekto? Ibig sabihin, si work performance ay nakadepende doon sa work experience, gender, and age. Therefore, siya yung naaapektuhan. Kung si work performance yung naaapektuhan, it is the dependent variable. On the other hand, yung nakakaapekto naman sa work performance, we have the work experience, gender, and age. Therefore, these three are your independent variables. Basta independent, sila yung nakakaapekto. Dependent, ito yung naaapektuhan. Okay, I think or I really believe this is clear already. So now let's proceed with the third type of variable. The third type of variable is this one. Okay, the discrete variable. When we say discrete variable, ang keyword mo naman dito, it is categorical, okay, or classificatory variables. So, ibig sabihin, category. Okay, there is a category. Pag may category, that is a discrete variable. Yun lang yung tatandaan mo doon. So, it is any variable that has a limited number of distinct values and which cannot be divided into fractions. Of course, ang mga categories, you cannot divide them into fractions. Let's say, example, gender. Hindi mo naman pwedeng ma-divide yan, di ba? Wala namang gender na divided into two. So, gender, that is a category and you cannot divide it into fraction. Blood group, let's say blood group. And also the number of children in the family. Okay, so yung example natin, hindi naman pwedeng, kunyari, ilan yung mga anak mo. Hindi mo naman pwedeng sabihin, 5.5 yung bilang ng anak ko. Ano yun, may kalahati lang, 'di ba? Manananggal ba yung isang mong anak? So hindi yun siya pwede. Kasi nga kapag discrete variable, we are dealing with categories. Yun yung keyword, categories. And it cannot be divided into fractions. That is discrete variable. Okay, how about the fourth? The fourth variable. So we have the continuous variable. So this time, the keyword naman that you have to remember is measurement. If something is measurable or you are measuring something, okay, more on numbers po ito, that is a continuous variable. This is the variable that can take infinite number. So pag kaya siya continuous, infinite, tuloy-tuloy number, walang katapusan on the value that can occur within a population. Okay, so this time, continuous variable can be divided into fraction. So parang ang kabaliktaran ni discrete is si continuous. Si independent, si dependent. Discrete, si continuous. Okay? So si discrete, hindi mo siya pwedeng i-divide into fractions. Parang it's nonsense or hindi mo siya maiintindihan pag dinivide mo kasi category. Pero si continuous, since this is about measurement somehow, yun yung keyword natin, you can divide it into fraction. So it is a variable that can assume a continuous scale, infinite number, that rather than distinct points on a scale. Okay, so example, age. So age, kunyari, pwede mong sabihin na you are 26.5 years old. So what does it mean? 26 years old ka na and then 5 months. 26 and 5 months old. Diba? So, pwede mo siyang i-divide into fractions. It makes sense. Kapag height, pwede mong sabihin, 5'6 ako. Sa totoong buhay, 5'6 si Teacher Glay. De, joke lang. So, 5'6 ako. So, 5, may ibig sabihin, pwede siyang naka-fraction. The same thing with your weight. Diba? 5.5, okay, 45.5. Yan. So, it can be divided again into fractions. Okay, so that's the difference. Ulitin natin. Let's just have a recap of the four variables, four types of variables. Again, when we say independent variable, ito yung nakaka-apekto. Ito yung nagkukos. When we say dependent variable, this is the outcome or ito yung naaapektuhan. Ito yung naaapektuhan ng independent variable. And when we say discrete, it is category. Okay, category naman kapag kay discrete. Hindi siya pwedeng i-divide into fraction kasi nga category siya. And kapag naman continuous, ang keyword natin, measurement. Okay, therefore, kung measurement numbers, you can divide it into fractions. Did you understand? Okay. Since naintindihan nyo na yung apat, meron pa tayong i-discuss which is what we call the levels of measurement. Do not be confused. Yung apat na yon, yun lang yung types ng variables. Pero may tinatawag tayo na levels of measurement. And itong apat na levels of measurement, it is under the discrete and the continuous variable. Okay? So, ito ay under ng discrete at continuous. Kay discrete variable, under niya na level of measurement ay si nominal variable and ordinal variable. Si continuous variable naman, under niya na levels of measurement, si interval and si ratio variable. So, isa-isahin natin siya at ano ba yung difference nilang apat. Okay, dun muna tayo kay discrete. Ang tatandaan, kapag kay discrete, ang keyword natin ay ang keyword ay category. Discrete category. Therefore, si nominal at ordinal na levels of measurement has something to do with category. Kapag naman kay continuous variable, our keyword here is okay, wow, Dora no? Naghihintay ng sagot. Continuous variable is, or it has something to do with measurement. That's the keyword. So, tandaan. So, ibig sabihin, si interval or ratio ay merong or it has something to do with measurement. Let's talk about first the nominal, the first level of measurement. Si nominal, o yan ha, nasa taas yung palatandaan nyo. Discrete under niya si nominal and ordinal. So, anong difference nila? Again, pag discrete category. So, ibig sabihin, si nominal, category to, pero no quantitative value. It has no quantitative value. Ibig sabihin ay walang order. Okay, nominal, no quantitative value, walang order. Categories lang siya. Let's say breakfast food. Ang category lang, healthy or unhealthy breakfast food. Number in jersey, 30, 23, 11. So, hindi naman yan sunod-sunod. Hindi naman kailangang top player, number 1 yung number niya sa jersey. So, iba yan. It differs. Pero category yon yung number in jersey. The same thing with eye color. So, sa eye color, hindi naman una lagi yung pink o kaya brown. Kapag may blue eyes ka, ikaw yung pinakamataas sa rank. Walang ganon. Walang ranking. Okay? Kay nominal. It's just mere category. No quantitative value. That's nominal. So, on the other hand, we have ordinal. From the word itself, order, ordinal. So, ang kinaibahan lang niya, there is still category kasi under pa rin si ordinal ni discrete. Kaya lang ang kinaibahan niya, it has 2 or more categories which can be ranked. Okay, so this time, may category na siya, plus meron pa siyang quantitative value or pwede na siyang i-rank. Okay, may order na siya. Si nominal, ang meron lang siya, category. Kay ordinal, may category na siya, plus pwede pa yung i-rank or meron ng order. Example, social class. So, alam naman natin may rank ang social class kahit ayaw natin, pero sa society natin meron talaga. So, nasa taas yung mga mayayaman, and then followed by the average people, tapos yung mga poor. Okay? O yung mga challenge talaga sila kumita. So, yun yung social class. There is a category. That is a category. And with ranking. Typhoon signal number. Okay, pag typhoon signal number, dito excited yung mga bata, no? So, pag signal number 3, gusto walang pasok lahat. Kasi nga may leveling siya. There is a category, 1, 2, 3, and meron ding levels. Okay, there is a ranking. There is an order. Same thing with competition results. So, yung champion, first place, and then the second place. Category siya, and may ranking. That's the difference between nominal and ordinal. Okay, yun yung difference nila. Pag nominal, ang meron lang siya category. Kapag ordinal, meron siyang category at meron siyang ranking. Okay, dalawa na. That's the first 2 levels of measurement. So, let's proceed with the next one. So, under ni continuous, sige, pakita ko lang ulit muna sa inyo yung etong diagram natin para matandaan. So, again, under ni discrete variable, we have nominal and ordinal. Nominal, category lang. Ordinal, category with ranking. As under naman ni continuous variable, we have the interval and ratio variable. So, etong 4 na to, hindi to types of variable, but rather we call them levels of measurement. Sige, pag-usapan natin si continuous variable. In continuous variable, si interval variable under the continuous variable. Pag continuous, ang keyword natin, measurement. Okay, there is a measurement. It can be divided into fractions. Numbers tayo dito. Interval variable ay meron siyang difference between the measurement is a measurement where the difference between 2 values thus have meaning. Therefore, there is or we have a true zero value. So, ano ba muna ibig sabihin ng true zero value? Pag sinabi nating true zero value, ibig sabihin, pag zero, wala. Diba? Yun yung meaning ng zero. Wala. It represents none or nothing. Zero nga so wala. So, pag true zero value, it has a true zero value. Therefore, it represents nothing. Okay, pag zero siya, zero talaga siya. Wala talaga siyang meaning. Wala talaga siyang value. Okay. Pero, kabaliktaran yun sa interval variable. It does not have. Okay, ulit mo yun ha. It does not have a true zero value pag interval. Ibig sabihin, yung zero niya, hindi ibig sabihin 0 yon. 0 talaga yon. Okay? Yung 0 ni interval variable, hindi ibig sabihin 0 yon, ay wala na siyang value. Kasi wala nga siyang true 0 value. Okay. Let me give you an example. Temperature. So, temperature. I have here a Fahrenheit temperature scale. So, dito, hindi porket sa Kelvin, yung una, sa Kelvin, 0 Kelvin, so 0 siya eh. Diba? Pero dahil nga wala siyang true 0 value, hindi porket 0 Kelvin ay 0 Celsius, 0 Fahrenheit na din siya. Kasi 0 Kelvin is equivalent to negative 273.15 degrees Celsius. Okay? So, wala siyang true 0 value. That's interval variable. Again, pag interval, this is measurement. Pag measurement dito, walang true 0 value. Yung 0 niya, merong value pa din. Okay, that's interval variable. Kadalasan, ang example lang talaga dito ay temperature. Okay, so hindi naman kasi porket 0 degrees Celsius sa atin ay wala na talaga, no? Wala nang value yon. So, ito na nga, yung pinakita ko na sa inyo dito. Alright? So, let's proceed. So, how about the ratio variable? So, kay ratio variable naman, okay, it possesses the properties of the characteristics of nominal, ordinal, and interval measure. By the way, I forgot to mention about that. Si interval variable, siya ay may category, siya ay may ranking din, pero may nadagdag tayo. It does not have a true 0 value. Okay? Two values, walang true 0 value. Pero, yung interval niya, kaya interval siya, yung interval niya from one point to another point, yung one point to another point, merong meaning. Okay, may meaning. From one point to another point, may meaning. May meaning siya. Pero again, wala siyang true 0 value. Alright. So, yun si interval. Kapag ratio naman, so, meron siyang nominal daw, di ba? Nominal characteristic. Meron siyang category, ordinal characteristic, may category at may ranking. Tapos, merong interval measure. Ibig sabihin, from one point to another point, merong meaning. Okay, may meaning siya. So, yun yung characteristic na meron din si ratio. Pero, ang nadagdag kay ratio, this time, meron na siyang true 0 value or true 0 point. Okay? It has a clear definition of 0. So, pag sinabing 0 sa kanya, 0 na talaga yon. It really means nothing. O, let's say, example, height. So, hindi naman pwedeng negative 5 ang height. Diba wala namang negative 5? So, 0, 0 talaga ang height. Pag 0, 0 talaga, walang ibang equivalent yon. Okay? So, kapag distance, kapag nandun ka lang, 0 pa lang yung kph mo, sabihin, di ka pa gumagalaw, andun ka pa lang. So, true 0 value siya. That's ratio variable. O, para mas maintindihan nyo, these are the 4 levels of measurement in one picture. Ulitin ko, pag si nominal, category lang siya. No? May category lang, may label lang. Sana all may label. And then, pag ordinal naman, from the word itself, order. There is a category, check, and meron na siyang order or ranking. Okay. Kapag interval naman, meron na siyang category, meron pa siyang ranking, and then, meron ng equal intervals. As known, equal intervals. So, yung from one point to another point, may meaning na siya, may measurement na siya. Okay, yan kay interval. And wala siyang true 0 value. Kasi kay ratio, doon pa lang magkakaroon ng true 0 value. Pag sinabing 0, 0 talaga siya. So, pag kay ratio, meron siyang category, meron siyang ranking, meron siyang non-equal intervals, and meron pang true 0 value. So, ito yung difference ng 4 levels of measurement. Again, yung first two natin, under siya sa discrete variable, category. Yung third and fourth, which are the interval and ratio, under silang dalawa ng continuous variable na ang keyword natin ay measurement. Alright. divided, we can have fractions here. We can divide it into fractions. Another diagram para mas maintindihan. So, syempre, dahil category lang si nominal, siya yung weakest, at pinaka-highest natin si ratio. Kaya siya levels, kasi may leveling din. Tinatawag na levels of measurement. Okay, so now let's try it. Let's try to answer. And I will give you at least 3 minutes or hindi naman 3 minutes talaga, pero i-pause mo na lang tong video para masagutan mo muna siya. Try mo siyang sagutan para makita mo kung naiintindihan mo talaga. Kasi pag di mo naiintindihan, you watch this video again bago mo i-next kasi mamaya papakita ko rin yung tamang sagot. Okay, so go. I-pause nyo muna, tapos try mong sagutan. Since this is not recorded naman, no, check mo lang yung pagkakatuto mo, kung naiintindihan mo ba talaga siya. So, paano mo kasi to madaling ma-identify? O, ganito muna, bibigyan kayo ng technique ni Teacher Glay. Una, alamin mo muna, is the variable under discrete or continuous? Category lang ba siya or may measurement siya? O, yun muna yung sasagutin mo. O, military title. So, ito ba ay numbers? Ito ba ay measurement or category? So, syempre, category. So, pag category siya, ito ay what kind of variable? Of course, this is a discrete variable. So, sa discrete variable, meron tayong dalawang levels of measurement. Dalawa. So, under niya, ni discrete variable, we have nominal and ordinal levels of measurement. So, anong ibig sabihin? Doon ka lang mamimili, 'di ba? So nakapagtanggal ka na agad ng dalawa pang choice. So may 50% ka na of getting the correct answer. O alin diyan? Military title, nominal or ordinal? O tanungin mo naman sarili mo. Ito ba ay merong order or wala? So pag military title, may order. So therefore, pag may order, this is ordinal variable. Ayan. So, ordinal yung levels of measurement niya. So, as easy as that. O, number 2 ulit. Ganun ulit. O, tanungin mo muna. Is this category lang or may measurement or may numbers? O, pag may numbers, kasi degree Celsius. So, ibig sabihin, ito ay continuous variable. Under ni continuous variable, may dalawang levels of measurement. Interval at ratio. So, ang tanong mo naman dyan, ito ba ay may true zero value o wala? O, tanongin mo yon, true zero value o wala. Pag zero ba siya, zero lang ba talaga siya or may meaning yung zero niya? Okay. Since yung zero ng temperature ay may meaning pa din or may value pa din, ibig sabihin, wala siyang true zero value. Hindi totoo yung zero niya, no? Wala, kaya nga siya hindi true zero value. Therefore, this is, pag walang true zero value, it is interval. So, ganun mo siya i-identify. So, now, you pause it, you try to answer, write your answers on a paper, tapos, i-check mo na siya. Sige, so, ipapakita ko na yung mga tamang sagot. So, maybe ito lang yung kaklaro ko dito, no? Itong number 7. A score in 5-item quiz in math. Bakit siya interval? So, syempre may measurement to, di ba? Kaya, continuous. So, mamimili lang tayo between interval or ratio. So, bakit siya interval? Bakit siya walang true zero value? Kasi, hindi naman porket 0 na yung score mo, 0/10 ka, ay wala ng equivalent percentage yon. Meron palang equivalent percentage yon, 'di ba? Ang percentage doon sa grading system namin ay let's say 75% kasi 0. O kaya 60 pala, sorry. 60% pag 0. O sabihin natin ganon. So, meron pa din siyang value. Ibig sabihin, yung 0 niya, hindi siya true zero value. Kaya, yung score in 5-item quiz in math is interval. That's how you do it. Okay, ito last na. Feeling for today. Of course, category lang siya. Hindi naman pag masaya ka, yun yung top 1 or rank 1. Hindi naman ganun. So, that's nominal. Alright. So, I really hope you did understand yung difference ng yung types ng variables natin and the levels of measurement. So, if you do have some questions, just feel free to message me on Facebook. So, message or comment lang kayo dyan sa baba at kung may gusto kayong i-clarify ni Miss Glay. Okay, so let's call it a day. Thank you everyone. Thank you for tuning in. God loves you.